From snowmelt high in the mountains to rivers winding through wide valleys, water defines every corner of life in the Yellowstone ecosystem. For centuries, that story has been shaped by nature's most persistent engineer, the beaver.
The North American beavers are really fascinating semi-aquatic rodent mammals because they're widespread ecosystem engineers, and not very many other animals kind of impact the landscape on the scale that beavers do.
Beavers are the golden animal because when they dam something, it changes the entire environment. They really are conservation heroes.
The essence of a beaver's life is building dams. These structures create thriving wetlands that provide a rich habitat for countless species.
If you have beavers on the landscape, what they do is they slow the water down because the water hits those dams, slows down, and there's infiltration, and which recharges groundwater, but it also provides deep water habitat for other species and riparian vegetation and reduces erosion. It's also been found that beavers have a really positive impact when it comes to forest fires, because by maintaining these green corridors in an otherwise dry landscape, a watershed with multiple beaver dams actually has multiple fire breaks.
To carry out these engineering feats, beavers rely on instinct, endurance, and tools found nowhere else in nature.
Beavers have these crazy incisor teeth that are ever growing that they use to fell trees, then break off branches, and they use those to build dams across small streams or rivers.
Beavers have one thing that's really important about them, and that's perseverance. People break their dams every night to keep the road from getting flooded out. Beavers come back and repair the dams every single night. They have a drive or an instinct to just dam, flood, flood, flood.
Beavers like silence. They physically react to the sound of flowing water, and they want to quiet it. So they build a dam.
Beavers were once everywhere, hundreds of millions strong in the American West. Then, in the 1800s, the fur trade nearly silenced them.
Going back 200 years to the mountain man era, they would trap beavers, they would preserve the skins, and they were then traded to Europe, where they made a high-quality felt hat that holds its shape and is waterproof.
During that time, beavers were trapped nearly to extinction. The species had declined from hundreds of millions to a small fraction of that. They've started rebounding, but nowhere near the population levels that they once were.
Today, the beavers have returned, but their ancient instincts often collide with a very modern world.
Beavers don't distinguish between a natural stream and an irrigation ditch. So if it has running water, they'll be like, great, I'll dam this. So it can flood roadways, it can flood pastures. They felled valuable crop trees that get them into trouble.
The main conflict with humans, and particularly with the ranching and agriculture community, is the flooding of private land and infrastructures. So this can be really problematic, especially if you have people that rely on the land for their living. But there's multiple kind of strategies for kind of remediating this.
Mindful of the challenges, the Ricketts Conservation Foundation is working with government resource agencies and other NGOs across the Yellowstone ecosystem. identifying places where beaver restoration can deliver the greatest benefits.
Our primary goal is to work with the U.S. Forest Service and other agencies to identify where beaver restoration is most valuable from an environmental point of view, but also has the least amount of impact upon human resources. So we funded a project to come up with a computer model that actually identifies areas within the ecosystem where beaver presence would have a positive impact.
One solution is moving beavers to new habitats, but relocation carries risks. Survival is never guaranteed, and displaced beavers may simply move again. Instead, restoration is increasingly focused on working with beavers, not against them.
Beaver dam analogs are an increasingly popular restoration technique. We install these structures to mimic the effects of an actual beaver dam. So often it involves putting wood posts across the stream and then weaving natural materials like rocks and mud and willow branches. And the goal is to create beaver habitat in streams that have been degraded and then have beavers move in and maintain them on their own without us having to keep going in and maintaining it.
Where conflict exists, solutions are emerging. Ranchers, farmers, and scientists now work together, finding ways to keep both livelihoods and landscapes thriving.
How do we keep beavers around, enhance nature, increase biodiversity, and make them compatible with human living? That's the trick.
There's techniques that can help manage some of the conflict between ranching and beavers. There's devices called pond levelers where you can put a pipe through a beaver dam and control the level of the pond so that it's not flooding out onto a road or into a pasture without losing the beaver and the beaver dam. You can build a fence around the culvert so the beaver isn't damming the culvert, it's trying to kind of dam around the fence. And then finally, you can put wire mesh around tree trunks so that the beavers can't fell those trees.
When beavers remain on the landscape, biodiversity follows, and everyone up and downstream benefits.
Bringing back beaver to the landscape provides really an irreplaceable service and benefit to the larger ecosystem. They really can be partners in building a more resilient riverscape, especially in the Yellowstone region. And beaver will only continue to enhance these areas.
Let's try and live with the beavers. Let's put them in degraded habitats because they cost nothing, just the cost of moving them, and you have free labor. They'll do it all for you. Beavers right now are the saviors of a lot of ecosystems. They really bring back nature. They restore life.
In the Yellowstone ecosystem, the restoration efforts continue. Slowly, the land is learning to heal again, with guidance from nature's oldest engineers.